Car's clean, about as clean as it's gonna get. Really simple wash, but paint looks pretty good. Not much work that needs to happen on the paint, maybe a polish later on, but we'll deal with a lot of the exterior differences from side to side a little bit later. Let's hop in the car and let's take it for a drive, and we'll kind of talk through all of the driving nuances or issues that I want to change or that we need to deal with. So let's hop in. Well, the interior. Let's start here, since we're inside now, taking a look around. What is wrong with this interior? A few things. It's a lot of detail stuff. It's a little bit messy, but you know, just some dust and stuff that we need to pick up. But what's really wrong? Missing pieces. These vents are gone. Shift boot, e-boot cover is gone. This thing is loose. The center console doesn't stick, so that needs to get fixed. Feels nice though. The Alcantara feels nice, but little things like that are wrong. Oh, missing steering wheel, lower steering wheel cover. That's missing as well. So just a lot of things that we need to figure out and kind of nibble out the details, you know? Oh, seating position. That's like one of the biggest things that I'm going to be complaining about on this drive, I feel like. I'm actually on 2 lumbar support pillows. You can pick these up on the website, actually. They're the RSP lumbar support pillows that will help with that lower back pain. I'm actually using it under my butt right now because the seat is actually planted to the ground on a planted seat bracket with no sliders or no other bases. So this is mounted to the floor. I can't move it forward or back. And the steering wheel is actually at the lowest position and as far back as it can be. And I'm still reaching for it. So definitely that needs to be addressed before we really do anything else. But let's take it for a drive and let's see how it actually feels on the road. .2015 WRX. Let's go. What do we got for horsepower and torque? Don't freaking know. Never been on the dyno. So, tell you what, feels good though. Oh man, that was fun. This thing feels pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't have that kick in your pants torque down low that I was really expecting, but it really pulls, and it pulls all the way to redline. Very linear feel on the power band. I attribute that to Graham's tune from Boosted Performance Tuning. Pretty impressed with that. I was expecting that to feel a lot less exciting, I guess. We got a little room to grow there. We're gonna make some changes on the J-pipe to a catted system, catted and resonated, because I do want to quiet down the exhaust as best as I can. Then we'll make the revisions for the header, and I don't know if the UEL is going to stay on. Maybe I'll let you guys decide that, so vote in the comments down below if you want to stay UEL or if we're going to jump back to the EL. We'll read those comments and see which direction to take. And then the brakes. Oh my gosh. So the AP Racing brakes, probably on Ferodo DS 1.1s, super noisy. Maybe they're even Hawk DTC 70s because of all the dust that is associated with these brake pads. I mean, they're great on the track. Once you actually get them heated up, they feel pretty good on the street as well. It's just the noise. It's just so loud. The slowest little stops, you know, towards your intersection or stop signs or whatever, everyone's going to be looking at you because they think you need to change your brakes. And really we do. On the street, we need to. Let's take this little 90 degree here. If I could shift gears right. Wow. Not bad at all. Turned in really nice. I may have embellished on the fact that I said we ruined this car, because really I'm starting to enjoy a lot about the driving experience. There's a lot of strong points about this car, and then there's the weak points. The shifting that I'm experiencing with the Boomba short throw shifter, I believe the parent shifter bushing, and then also this Ashiko weighted knob. This is one of the things that, also I think a Faction Fab shifter stop as well is installed on this. Is one of the things that I don't really enjoy about this car is actually the feel of this weighted knob. It just makes it so easy to get into gear that you kind of, it mutes the feeling of the gates to where it's kind of vague. It makes it vague. The shift gate is really tightened up to where there's not too much movement. Like going into 5th gear is very difficult because it feels like you're going into 3rd gear, which you're not going to want to do if you are, revving out 4th gear all the way and then going into 5th gear. And if you accidentally go into 3rd, that's going to be a bad day for you. We are going to keep the short throw shifter and the parent shifter stop, or the Faction Fab one, whichever one it is. And we're just going to change out the knob. And changing out the knob to something a little more skinny, a little taller, and less weight. And we'll start there to see how it feels. It sounds pretty good, a little loud. Touch quieter, just to make it sound a little more classy, a little more gentlemanly. Again, I think the AWE Touring catback is awesome. I think that is going to stay. A catted J-pipe will help quiet this down and change the tone just a little bit to make it a little more gentlemanly. And then the suspension. I said it before in the video, Faction Fab's FR spec coilovers were actually a really good addition for this car. I think at the price point, it's probably one of the best all-around suspensions. Like if you're gonna go on a Canyon, if you need to daily drive it, if you're gonna go on track or do an autocross with it, these things are gonna perform. I just want to simplify it a bit. The adjustability and having to change it and all that stuff is kind of annoying unless you're into that, which I totally understand because I used to be, but now I'm kind of more of a set it and forget it kind of guy. It's pretty smooth around here, but there are some bumps and dips in the road, and there's no like hard thudding. It feels like the compression is really working for you, soaking up the bumps in the road. You definitely move around and you feel it, but for how much of a increased spring rate this is, it really doesn't deteriorate the day-to-day drive as much as you may expect. Car's got good turn-in, really good turn-in. The behavior is really nice. It actually does what you expect it to do. It's kind of tough to rotate though. But that's like really the only thing. I think we can probably stiffen up the rear just a little bit and see if we can get a bit of that rotation on some of these corners. Oh, which reminds me, that's the other weak point about the car, is the tires. If you guys have been following along on Instagram, you'll know that the tires were made in like, oh my gosh, 2012 or something. So we're on like 8-9-year-old tires. There's math again for me. And they're just shot. They're shot. I mean, it's almost to the point of it's dangerous to be driving on these tires right now. So I think a new set of tires is gonna really help with this car. And then also getting this driving position right. I mean, if we handled those two things, this car is gonna be really enjoyable for a day-to-day driver and just a fun car that you can toss around at the track or on a canyon road every now and again. Well, that's it, guys. We're back in the bay after driving our WRX, and guess what? It's not as bad as I thought it was. So we're off to a positive note on this build already, but obviously the work is not done. So we have some things that we really need to concentrate on, and a lot of it has to do with my personal preference, how I fit and feel inside the vehicle. So we're really gonna concentrate first on that driving position, getting some new seats in the car, finishing up the interior so it's more daily, less incomplete, and go from there. Otherwise, the car feels great. I love the linear power band. I actually really like the UEL header sound. vote's still out for that on whether we're going to go with the equal length or leave the UEL on. So let us know. What should we do? Should we leave the UEL in the WRX or should we jump to the equal length tether? I want to know what you guys want to see on this car, so please just comment below, like and subscribe, follow along with this build as I'm excited about it and as we start to really dig in with this car. So we'll see you guys on the next one.